Page number 32, his first flight. So, good morning students who are watching me now. Okay, so today we are going to start a new lesson, 2 stories about flying. First, there are 2 stories in this lesson. So, first story is about his first flight. So, what is this all about? Let me tell you something about the title, his first flight. Okay, it is about a creature called seagull. Okay, you must have seen seagull, and if you have not seen, you can see on the Google image seagull. Okay, so here in this lesson, his first flight means the first flight of the seagull. Seagull is young seagull means the baby seagull. So every bird, okay, learns how to take flight, or every bird learns the art of flying, okay, at certain age. But this bird, this young seagull, is taking a lot of time, okay, in learning the art of flying. Okay, so what was the reason? What is the reason for him to take so much of time in learning the art of flying? We shall discover in this lesson. So I hope you understood his first flight means here the flight of the young seagull, okay, who was taking a lot of time in learning the art of flying. All his brothers and sisters have already learned how to fly, but not this young seagull. So let us start and find out the reason why he was taking so much of time in learning the art of flight. Okay, so let's begin. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge means somewhere where he was supposed to sit, okay, a narrow horizontal shelf. Okay, so the young seagull was alone. Why he was alone on his ledge? Because all his brothers and sisters have already gone somewhere by flying, but as he hasn't picked up the art of flying yet, therefore he is sitting on a ledge. His 2 brothers and his sister, it means he has 2 brothers and 1 sister. So his 2 brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. He had been afraid to fly with them. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Understood? Like you must have seen the runaway of the flight also. Like before the aircraft takes off in the air, aircraft also goes for some kind of running. Okay, in the runway. Okay, so it is required even for bird also. Okay, so here you can see this young seagull. He was running for some time, and when it was time to take a plunge or take off, he felt so scared and he gave up the idea of flying. So why is he so scared about flying? Let's find out. So he says the great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way down, miles down. Means see, there was a huge expanse of sea below. So he has some underlying fear in his mind. If I take off and in the process I fall off into the sea, in that case I will die. So the expanse of sea water below has made him scared, very much scared. That is why he is taking time to take off in the air. Okay, so that is the reason actually. What is the reason? See here, somehow when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge. Brink means edge. जैसे इसका brink होगा ये edge में, edge. So when he has gone up to the brink by running on the ledge, somehow he felt scared because of sea below. So he has given up. So you understood the basic reason. I think the basic reason is the fact that there is vast expanse of sea water below. That is why young seagull was very much scared to take off. Okay, he tried his level best, but somehow he has some underlying fear. That is why. Next you see, he felt certain that his wings would never support him. What is the another reason? Another reason is he was not confident of his own wings. He thought that his own wings would not support him. He might fail, and therefore he might fall down into the sea. So there are 2 reasons. Number 1 is there is vast expanse of sea, okay, below, which made him scared. And second reason is he thought that his wings would never support him. Therefore he has given up the hope of flying. Okay, as of now, He might learn it later on, but as of now, he has given up. Okay, next you see. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept at night. So he bent his head and gave up the effort and then ran away back to his little hole, okay, where he was sleeping last night. Okay, even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, see, his two brothers and sister whose wings were far shorter than his, still they could learn the art of flying, but not young seagull. It means basically he is timid or fearful at heart. Okay, because even in human beings we can see, like all are not courageous. Some are very scared, some are very bold. So he appears to be very much coward actually. I mean, he appears to be very much timid, okay, or fearful in his mind. Okay, so that is why he was not able to take the plunge. Even when each of his brothers and his little sister, whose wings were far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage to take that plunge. Plunge means that effort, okay, that dive, which appeared to him so desperate. Okay, that first dive into the air appeared to him to be very much risky. That is why he failed to muster up. Muster up means gather courage to take that plunge which appeared to him so desperate. His father and mother had come around, calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. But for the life of him, he could not move. His parents threatened him. If you do not fly, if you do not learn how to fly, then you shall not be given any food. Okay, you have to remain without food. Okay, so this is how they are trying to motivate him by threatening him, saying that, okay, your food will not be given to you if you do not learn how to fly, right? So you see here, to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away, but for the life of him he could not move. But in spite of his parents' reminder and parents' threat, he was not able to somehow manage to get or muster his courage or gather his courage. Therefore, he remained where he was on his ledge. Now let's see. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. His brother, sister, nobody was coming near him to give him a lesson that we are not happy with you. Okay, you need to learn the art of flight. Okay, next you see, the day before, all day long, the previous day, the day before, all his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight. Understood? His parents were training his brothers and sister how to become an expert in the art of flight, in flight, but still he did not get motivated. Okay, then perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for fish. Okay, because like see, his parents were teaching, okay, how to skim the waves and how to dive for the fish. Whenever you see on the surface of the sea water any fish, then how to dive for it. So there are some tricks for that. So his parents were teaching his other brothers and sisters, but not able to teach him because he hasn't learned yet. Because see, skimming the waves and diving for fish is the second stage. The first stage should be to dive for the to learn the art of flight. So as he hasn't learned the art of flight yet, therefore his parents cannot teach him the next trick of how to skim the waves and catch fish, dive for the fish, right? So he had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring. Herring means here fish, and devour it means eat it, right? Standing on a rock while his parents circled around, raising a proud cackle. His parents became proud of their other children, okay, because they already learned how to catch the fish, okay. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Okay, so when his parents were teaching him the art, teaching other brothers and sisters, okay, how to skim waves and catch fish, and at the same time, his brothers and sister were taunting at him, were making fun of him for not being able to learn the art of flying. Okay, so they were taunting him also, so that he becomes motivated to take his first plunge. Right. So you see here, all the morning the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his cowardice. Okay. Next you see, the sun was now ascending the sky. Means the sun shine was becoming bright and bright, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge. Now he has stepped slowly onto the brink of the ledge, and standing with one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other. So he is now standing on one of his legs, closed his eye, trying to avoid looking at his family members, because if he looks at them again, they will make fun of him, might be asking him to start the dive. So that is why he is pretending as if he is not watching them. He closed one eye, then the other, then you see, and pretended to be falling asleep. He was pretending that he is falling asleep, so that his other brothers and sisters and his parents don't call him. That is why he is trying to pretend. Understood? Still they took no notice of him. Means why was he pretending? Not because his parents will call him, because I think he was trying to show that, see, I am so hungry or I am so tired. Okay, that is why it's written here. You see, still they took no notice of him. He was trying to draw the attention, but they did not take notice of him. They were ignoring him. Why were they ignoring him? See, he saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. See here, her white breast thrust forward. Now and again, she tore at a piece of fish. Okay, now his mother is trying to apply a trick on the young seagull. Sandhya, what kind of trick his mother is trying to apply on the little seagull? You see, she is trying to catch a fish, okay? Yes. So and she wants the young seagull to see that, okay? So that out of hunger, he is already hungry. So he would want to get that fish from his mom, right? So out of extreme hunger, he might die, okay, and as a result he might learn how to fly, okay, because he is feeling extremely hungry. That is why his mother wants to draw his attention and compel him, force him to dive out of hunger, okay, that is why. So she tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet, and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The side of the food, see, this line you can bracket, The side of the food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak and now again to wet it. Okay, now that his mother has got a piece of fish and was trying to tempt.
She was tempting him.
Yes, she was tempting him. Therefore, he was thinking what to do now. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. He's thinking. Gaga, he started crying. Gaga, he cried, begging her to bring him some food. See, initially, the young seagull did not try to take a plunge. He was trying to request his mom to bring that food near him so that he doesn't have to fly, right? But his mom is also clever. She will not fly near him. She will not come up to him. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, she screamed back derisively. Derisively means that she's stupid. Okay, like in a manner showing someone that she or he is stupid. Okay, so she screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively. And after a minute or so, he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with it. See, another trick his mom has applied. She has picked up the fish now, and now she is flying with the piece of fish. Yes, she is now tempting him even further by flying up to him. Flying up to him, but not she will land up to him. Okay, she will land near him. She will not land. She will keep some distance. Suppose the young seagull is here, she will be here. She will again further tempt him. Okay, so that he dives, takes a plunge, and in the process he learns the art of flying. Understood? So she screamed back derisively, but he kept calling plaintively. Okay, now he leaned out eagerly. He leaned out eagerly, boys. You see, he leaned out eagerly. He was, maybe he is already mad with hunger. So if his mom doesn't land near him, then he has to take a plunge. Out of extreme hunger, he was feeling very hungry. So tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. So what his mom has done is, his mom was flying near him, somewhere up in the sky. She was flying near him. She was not landing in front of him, because if she lands, then he will not fly, right? So, but when she was just opposite to him, she halted. When she came just opposite to him like this, she halted somewhere in the sky, in the air. She halted. She stopped. Her wings motionless. Her wings have become motionless. The piece of fish in her beak almost within reach of his beak. Almost within reach. Like he is here. Suppose he is here. His mom is here. Almost within his reach. For that he has to dive, no? So when he will dive, then she will go a little further. And this is how. Yes. Now let's see what happens. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. Okay? When he was sure that his mom was not diving, then he became angry, maybe out of hunger, and then he dived at the fish. Now you see what happens. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. Then a monstrous terror seized him. And then, with a loud scream, out of hunger, he fell outwards, downwards into space. He started flying. Then a monstrous terror. He felt so scared because there is vast expanse of sea beneath. So he started flying, but in spite of that, he was so scared because there is huge water below. So his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. Just for a minute it lasted. The next moment he felt his wings spread outward. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. So when he was running, flying after his mom, Sandhya, stand up please. Stand up. You also, both of you. You come here and stand up. See, he was not falling headlong now. Stand up, both of you. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. He was no longer afraid. He was no longer afraid because he was flying after his mom, okay? And his mom has somehow managed to give him some confidence. Maybe he was no longer afraid. He just felt a bit dizzy because for the first time he's flying, right? Then he flapped his wings once and he soared upwards. Ga ga ga. All this, his mother swooped past him, her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. Then his father flew over him, screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting and banking and soaring and diving. Now all the family joined the young seagull. Okay, all the family joined young seagull to give him inspiration, to motivate him. Now, so therefore he will no longer feel scared. You see. Then his father flew over him, screaming. He saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curveting, banking, soaring, and diving. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly and commanded himself to dive and soar and carve, shrieking shrilly. He was near the sea now, flying straight over. See here. Straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean, he saw a vast green sea beneath him with little ridges moving over it, and he turned his beak sideways and crawled amusedly. Now he is going down actually, okay, just above the sea, because he has to catch fish also, right? So now from some height he is going down, it seems. His parents and his brothers and sister had landed on this green floor, green floating ahead of him. Green floating means almost on the surface of the water, because they have to pick fish. So now they will teach him, boys. Now they will teach him how to dive for the fish from the surface of water. Okay, from above the surface of water, how to dive for the fish. That is why now entire family you can see the entire family. Stand up. You can see the entire family going down and down above the surface to teach him how to dive for the fish. His legs sank into, see the hook. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright. Again he became scared. He was screaming with fright. But he was tired and weak with hunger, and he could not rise. Okay, because it's a matter of do or die. Okay, he cannot feel, even though he was scared, but he was trying his best to maintain the balance on the water. Okay, exhausted by the strange exercise, because see, they have to flap their wings constantly to maintain the balance, right? So when he landed on the surface of the water, there also he has to flap his wings. He became very tired. So out of tiredness, he forgot his nervousness. Okay, and now he has learned almost how to even land on the floor of the sea and dive for the fish. Okay, and his wings are also becoming strong due to the flapping exercise, right? So his feet sank into the green sea. His feet has sank into the green sea, but he will keep balance with his wings, right? His feet sank into the green sea, and then his belly touched it, and he sank no further. And he did not sink any further after that. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He made his first flight. Okay, and see how his family supported him. Okay, even while landing on the floor of the sea. So here you can see he was floating on it now because of his wings, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He had made his first flight, and this is how he made his first flight. So you see, it is because of his mother that he learned, because even though she was carrying a piece of fish on her beak, but still she did not come near him. Okay, she was keeping some distance. Okay, and trying to tempt him to fly. Okay, and eventually he had to dive for the fish, and then his mom took him all across the air, all across in the air, and then she also taught him how to land on the floor of the sea and maintain the balance with the help of his wings and dive for fish. And eventually, with the support of every member, his two brothers and one sister, he was eventually able to learn the art of flying. Okay, so this is the first story of this lesson. This is how to the art of his first flight. So here, as I told you, he refers to the young seagull, how he learned his first flight. Okay, so Second story of this lesson we shall study tomorrow. Okay, it is something quite different. It is about black aeroplane. Okay, so it is something quite different from the first one, but it is also a story of adventure. Okay, so we shall study it tomorrow. Okay, dear students, thank you so much, Arnav, Anushka, Yogesh, Bhumika, all of you, thank you so much for staying connected. Okay, and please let me know how many of you are still there. Please let me just write your just say yes sir, so that I can understand you are still connected. All of you, not you. I'm asking them to write, text me yes, so that I understand they are still with me. Okay. Thank you, Parag. Thank you so much. We shall meet tomorrow.